Yes, doctor.
It's like the FBI. Everything they have to tell you. This meeting is being recorded. Like God, you know, it's funny. Anyway, so what is a lease? What does it mean? A company is leasing something. You know, you can rent a house. Is that right? Everybody familiar with renting. You can rent an apartment. You can rent a house. You can even lease a car. Why do we say we're leasing a car? Why we don't say we're renting a car? I don't know how popular it is in Uganda, but you can buy a car and you can lease a car. Eh, some people they said, okay, I want a new car, but I don't have the money to pay, and I still want to use the new car, but I don't have all the money. You know, the car. Let's say I don't. I'm just making it up. Cost $30,000. I don't have an upfront $30,000. Let's make it simple even. That's a $36,000. Okay, in fact, I made it more complicated. Let's say $30,000. The car worth $30,000. You go to the store, he wants to buy it, and he said, "Oh, I don't have $30,000. Can I still use the car?" Said, "Okay, you can lease it." What does it mean you're leasing something? You like renting, but why do we use a separate word instead of renting? We call it lease because you're making an obligation. You're going to rent it, let's say, for 3 years. Okay? So it's like you bought it because you're making a commitment. You're going to pay all the rent for the next 3 years, let's say, 36 months. Okay? And I tell you, okay, you can rent the car or lease the car. So on one hand, I give you the car is yours, but you're going to pay every month $1,000. So if you're paying $1,000 every month, what's happening in the end of the day? That you really actually paid me $36,000. Am I right? 3 years we have 36 months. So what's really going on here? If you bought the car, you can pay up for 30,000 and the car will be yours. But if you say I don't have money, I said okay, I lease you the car. So you take the car is yours really. And the end of the lease, the car is really absolutely yours. But during the 3 years, you're gonna pay me every month 1,000. Why am I charging you a little more? The truth of the matter, you have 36 months. So if you're paying me 36 months, you're actually paying me more than 30,000. Is that right? So far, so good. Now, a lease has a little component. It's kind of an interesting things that on one hand, like you bought the car for 30,000, but I am at the same time give you a loan. So let's say Esio came to me, I have a car dealership, and Esio said, okay, I want to lease the car from you. I said, okay, here we go, take the car. And you will pay me now $1,000 every month. The truth of the matter is like I gave her a loan of 30,000. And every month she is really paying part, she's kind of paying back the loan and the interest that it's accumulating. You got it so far? Everybody got it?
Yes, yes,
Yes.
doctor.
That's why in the end of the day, she's really paying even more than 30,000. So when I'm leasing her a car, I'm really doing two things. I'm selling her a car, you can look at it that way, and I'm giving her a loan. So if SEO is buying the car for her company, she has a company and she buying a car for the company and she's leasing it. She's not really buying it. So what happened in the company? What should she show in the balance sheet of the company? On one hand, she has a car, correct? That's an asset. On the other hand, she has the liability. She owes Amos, is that right? $36,000. So far, so good. Everybody got it?
Yes.
So good.
So this is a
Yes.
little hard. It's already that simple. Correct? So how do we treat that now? When Brenda just got the car for her company, she already has only a car that's worth only 30,000. And she owes Amos, is that right? She's already owes Amos actually 36,000. But you can look at it as different way. You can say, no, 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 no. She owes Amos 30,000 because she got a car for 30,000. And over time, she will be paying interest. So let me make a little Excel. This is a little hard topic. It's a really advanced topic in accounting. So let me share my screen and make a little schedule. It's a very important knowledge for you guys. Come on. Here we go. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me make it bigger. So you can look at it. In fact, next time I will give you also a session on payment, something called Spitz schedule. What does it mean? It's very important in finance and accounting. Extremely important topic. Honestly, it's very good for you also one day, God willing, you'll buy a house and you go to the bank and you take a mortgage. You really want to understand how the bank really works, okay? That's those tips worth a lot of money. One time, one of my students came to me and said, Amos, I owe you so much. I said, what happened? She said, because you talked about the mortgage, and after I took the class, I went to the bank and I said 200,000 shekel. It's about, if you divide it by three, it's about $60,000, just because she understood how the mortgage works. It's a very important topic. Let's focus on lease now. So when we take a lease, on one hand, we have assets. Is that right? It's Hebrew.
Yes, doctor.
Maybe I will teach you Hebrew too. No, you don't have to. So let's say Esther bought the assets of the car for 30,000. But how much money does she owe Amos? I am the dealership. Okay, so she have a liability of 30,000. So that's when she just got the car. So if I want to show the lease in the balance sheet, we have, remember, assets for lease, remember that? And we have also a liability, remember?
Yes, doctor.
But now we're going to split it to two. Let's say for the first year, you're going to pay 12,000, correct? It's a little tricky. It's very, very tricky. It's a very advanced topic. I will make it simple just for the beginning. I'm going to split it to a current part. That's the current part. Remember, many times you have the current and the long term. That's the current liability. And I will make the current liability to be like 12,000. So how much is the long term left? 18,000. So total you owe 30,000, but your liability on for the lease, you owe really two parts. That's the long term. One is the current and one is the long term. What does it really mean? See, you're leasing it for 3 years. In the first year, you're going to pay 12,000. In the next 2 years, the following 2 years, you will pay 18,000. So anything that it's above the year, we call it a long term. Everything you're going to pay the next year, it is a short term. So that many times when we look at leases, we see that there is two parts. Let's see one of the companies that let's pull up one of the companies. That's a real example. Mildred, she's expert. You remember any company had the lease? Well,
Yes, doctor.
you have something in mind? That you know they had both of them? Or should I put just randomly? Let's say Amazon, they most likely have. Here we go. Let me put Amazon. And let's see their balance sheets. Now, if we look at their balance sheets, let's say if they have leases. Here we go. They have operating lease. You see that? Of 56 billion. It's probably buildings. In the example I gave you, it was a car. But here we go. They have an asset, showing an asset that they are leasing. And at the same time, let's look at the liabilities. So they have a liabilities. They should have a short-term, what is the leases? Current portion, you see that, the way it's called? Current portion of the lease. And they don't have any. They might didn't break it down. Sometimes they don't break it down, but they should. Okay, normally they should. Okay, and then they have to have a long-term part. Here we go, long-term operating lease liabilities. 67, you see that? You look at that, 67? So you say
Yes, doctor.
it's supposed to be the same number, am I right? Supposed to be the same number,
Yes.
but it's not. How come? In a minute I will explain, okay? But first of all, I would like to see why they don't have really the current. Let's look it up. Let's look it up at 2020. Here we go. Let's see if they don't, why they don't have the current portion. Yeah, you see they didn't break it down. They had only the long term. So you did it very good. They don't have the current portion, so they didn't break it down. It's like in my example, it's like they said, okay, we're not going to break it down. We're just going to use that one. Is that right? And then the making it's like 30,000. But in their case, it was higher. And in a minute, I will explain that. So far, so good. That's what they did. Just
So
only
good. So good.
in the Apple. Many times, Mildred already have done many cases. You have two cases, correct? You have the current portion and the long term. The current portion means all the rent you're going to pay for the first year. And whatever is above 1 year, it will be in the long term. That's really the way it works. But hold a second. Remember, Brenda, I said when you rented the car, you're going to pay me 36,000, correct? So that's why it's like with Apple, Amazon. They're not going to pay only in the example we just saw, they're not going to pay only the lease, which they had operating lease 37 billion. They're going to pay total for this year. They're going to pay, they're already telling me, where is the lease? Anybody see the lease? Why don't see? Here we go. 52 billion. You see that? Long-term lease liability, 52 billion. Got it? So it's like,
Yes, doctor.
on one hand, on the assets, they're only showing 37 billion and a half. On the other hand, they're showing that they really owe 52 billion. wow, this is really means they're paying a lot more than buying those assets. Many times it's worth for them, okay? And that's really the case. In my example of the car, Brenda going to pay me 36 billion, more than, so what is the difference? What does it reflect the difference between this one and this one? How would you call it? Why should you pay me more than the value of the car? Because it's like I'm giving you a loan. You got to think about it. You came, you bought the car for 30,000, but you didn't have money. So I gave you a loan. I gave you a loan of 30,000. And I said to you, over the years, you'll have to pay me the loan plus interest. And the interest is the 6,000, which is above what I lent you. So I bought a car. I leased the car. I really did two things. I took a loan from the dealership for 30,000. I bought the car. Now the car is mine. Now I have to pay the loan. I have to pay the 30,000, but he said, no. You have to pay also interest. And how much is the interest will be over the whole period of 3 years? 6,000. Got it? Does that make sense?
Yes, doctor. Yes,
That's
doctor.
very, very important.
Yes, it does.
I will start today to expand that topic. And really, we like shifting a little bit to finance than to accounting, but they are related. You really need to know both of them. I'm just going to make this example, and I will go over it one more time next time. Okay? Let's take this example. Okay, let's forget about the lease altogether. You take a loan from the bank. Okay, and next time I'll connect the two together. Where's the delete? Here we go. Okay, if you take a loan of $30,000 from the bank, you will have to pay interest. Is that right?
Yes.
You know
Yes.
Excel very well? Or should we solve it in Python? We'll do it in Python, another one, okay? But I want to give the idea. I will do it in Excel, okay? I will do it in Excel, and then we will do it in Python. Python is more interesting. So let me just make it. Showing the numbers a little bit, so we'll have more space. I want just, okay, we're doing 30 years. You're gonna pay this loan for 30 years. First year, you'll pay some amount. Second year, third year, you're gonna pay me every year some amount. Is that right? That's hard, by the way. A lot of students get lost. For some students, it's really hard. But we'll do it. Don't worry, it will be just fine. Let me try to fit it into one page. Can you see it? Okay, I will increase it later on. So how much are you gonna pay me every month? You're gonna pay me 1,000, we said. Is that right? Everybody agree?
Yes, doctor.
By the way, this is hard.
Yes.
Again, this is hard. A lot of students lose, and that's hard for them. So I'll do it here, and then we even program it. I will write a description. This is a very important topic in finance. So I'm paying $1,000. Now see the important thing. I didn't mention interest rate at all. How much interest am I paying? I'm just saying you pay the interest. I know the total is 6,000 because I only took a loan of 30,000 and I returned to the bank. I paid the bank 36,000. I know the total interest was 6,000. But how much is really the interest every year was? So here we go. I will write it here down. I'll write, by the way, usually interest is marked by the letter R or I. And let's say the interest was, I don't really know it. If I know it will be easy. I want to find it out. When a bank give you a loan and said to you, here, take the 30,000 and you pay me every month 6,000, 1,000, and you end up paying 36, they are charging you interest every year. So how much is really the interest the bank is actually paying you? Can you figure it out? The answer is yes. But let's do it 2 stages. Let's say the interest rate is 10%. By the way, 0.1, it is 10%. You know, it's like a 10 over 100, it's 0.1. If the interest was at 10%, how much will be the interest on 30,000? You know, you took a loan, 30,000, am I right? Correct? You with me?
Correct, doctor.
Okay.
Yes.
So how much is the interest first year? Oh, hold a second. It's a little more complex. 10% is for the whole year. So if I want to find out how much interest I'm paying per month, let's call it RM, I have to take the 10% and divide it by 12. So it'll be 0.1 divided by 12. That's the monthly interest rate. So far, so good?
Yes.
So how much interest am I supposed to pay on 30,000 for 1 month? That's the interest. So to find out how much interest I'm paying, I will have to do, let's put another line. I will take the 30,000 and multiply it by the interest. That's the interest I'm supposed to pay the first month. $250 the bank's taking the first month as interest, if the interest was really 10%. To make it a little better, easier, let me just put it here, RY to be for a year. So I'll put 0.1 here, and here I will change the formula a little bit. I just, instead of doing it this way, it would be better to do it this way. And you will see why, okay? So first month, the bank 250. Oh, hold a second. If the bank took 250 as interest, see, 1,000, I paid the bank the first month 1,000, okay? He said out of 1,000, really 250 is interest. So how much I paid the principal? What does it mean principal? I had to pay 30,000 back to the bank. So I really only paid, now I will do 1,000 minus 250, that's reducing my loan, okay? So one more time, I took a loan of 30,000 and I should pay the interest on for 1 month on 30,000. So for 1 month of 30,000, it's $250. It means that I really, although I paid 1,000, only 750 consider as paying my loan. So what is the loan by the end of the first month? By the end of the first month, I took a loan of 30,000 and I paid 750. So I really owe the bank by the end of the first month, 29,250. That's really what. By the end of the month, I owe the bank less because I paid him already $1,000. And the $1,000 did 2 things. 250 goes to pay the interest and 750 to reduce my loan that the bank gave me. What's going to happen in the next month? That's the hardest one, okay? See, the second month, I owe the bank less money. So I have to pay interest less than that. So how much interest will I pay? Only on the 29,250. That's what I pay interest on. So I multiply that by the interest, and that will be less than 250. You will see, only 243. It's less. So now in the second month, since I already paid $1,000, I'm really actually, for the second month, I'm paying more of my debt. How much of my debt I'm paying in the second month? It's 1,000 minus the interest again. So second month, I paid more out of my loan. So how much do I owe the bank in the end of the second month? Again, we'll take whatever I owed previous month, and I subtract what I paid in the second month. So I go to here, I will do plus, that's what I owe the bank in the end of the first month, the beginning of the second month, minus the principal I paid in the second month. So how much I owe the bank in the second month? Even less now. Now you can play with it. Let's do one more month. See, if I owe the bank only 28,000, how much should I pay interest in the third month? Again, now it becomes to be easier. That's what I owe the bank times the interest. Okay, that's the part of the interest out of the 1,000. Every month I'm paying 1,000. So the third month, I'm paying less interest and I'm paying more out of my loan that I took. So the end of the third month, I owe even less. Again, I'll take this one and subtract how much I paid. And it's continue every month. If you know Excel, you know you can take this one and drag it. You know, you can drag it and you see what happened to the loan. The value of the loan will go down every month. What happened here? What did I do? Yeah, I know why. Okay, I have to lock this D. I have to lock D2. So D2, I have to do, you know that, you know how to lock? Do you know some Excel? You guys know Excel or you don't? Hey, why everybody?
We do. Yes, doctor.
See, I'm locking down the field. Now, if I drag it, it will be just fine. Okay, so it's going down and down over the year. Let's drag it to the end and let's see what happens. Okay, you see more and more. But see, there's something that doesn't make sense. I still owe the bank money. That means that the truth of the matter, you know, remember I just throw away that I said it's really 10%. Now, I usually, when I do something like that, what I do, so it will be easy to explain, I put in this field so I don't have to go all the way to the right all the time. I just copy this one to there. So now you will always see the balance in the end of the schedule right there. So I don't have to scroll to the right. So that means the interest that I assumed the bank is taking was wrong. The interest actually the bank is taking, it's even higher than 10%. Let's try 11%. It's supposed to be zero already here. Otherwise, it's not, I didn't really got the right number. Here we go, 11%. No, it should be less than 10%, sorry. Otherwise, so let's make it 9%, 0.9. Okay, it's lower. No, it's not 9%, it's less than 9%. Because it's not zero yet. Let's take 5%. Say what happened if it was 5%. Oh, it's still lower. That's probably even lower. That's good. 3%. Oh, it's even lower. Let's put 1%. Yeah, it can't be. What it is? Yeah, 36, 30. No, my mistake. I should take it to 36. I made a mistake. I meant it's only 30 years. I should make it this way. My mistake. So let me take all of that. Yeah, and now the other way around. Sorry, I kind of got you confused. I needed to do it 36 because we had 36 payment. This is supposed to be 0, but it's not 0 because I made it too small. So I'm going to increase a little bit the interest rate. For 1%, I'll put it back to 3%. That's what happened. Still negative, yeah. Yeah, I know it didn't make any sense to me to be, let's put 8%. Still negative. Let's put 10%. Yeah, it's still negative. That means it should be even more. Let's put 15%. It's positive. So it's not 15%. It's less than 15%. Let's put 13%. You're getting close to 0. Okay? I need to find a number so it will be, so it's slightly a little bit more than 13. Let's say 13.2. No, a little less. 12.12. 12.8. Let's see what happened now. So it's getting closer to. So I will do it a 9. Is that going up or down? Yep, 8 is going down. So let me do 7. Yep, that's pretty good. Let's do 6. It's almost getting closer to 0. Let's put 4. By the way, there's a way to do it that it's not, you know, it does it automatically for you in a minute. Up, it's really getting close to, it's supposed to be probably in half, 12.5%. It's plus minus. Okay, what did we do here? Okay, is Michael still with us or he? Hi, Michael, you with us?
100%.
You repeat.
Good. Let me go over that one more time and then you have the recording. Go over it again together. It's such an important topic in finance. All the mortgages, all the loans, all works this way. You take a loan from the bank. This is the principal called. That's called the principal. The bank tells you, I'm going to charge you $1,000 every month for 36 months. The truth of the matter, the bank is taking $6,000 interest. And how does it work? The way it works is if I know if the bank told me it's 12.25, 12%, then I know 12.25 interest. That's really what they are doing without telling me. But I can figure it out. How do I figure it out? I put all the payment, $1,000 every month for 36 months. Okay? 36. I put all, by the way, this is wrong. I should put control copy. See, in Python, we never get those errors. Okay. That's fine. It's okay. It's even better. Okay, it's even getting us to close. 12.25. It's very close to 0. It's less than $1. So that's very close. So I'm paying every month $1,000. So what really happening is out of the 1,000, the first 1,000 I'm paying the bank, it has 2 components. One component is the interest, and the second component is paying back the loan of the 30,000. So out of the 1,000, the bank takes the interest first, and whatever left, it's reducing my loan to the bank. Then I go to the second month. Second month, I'm paying another 1,000. I'm paying the interest this time, not on the 30,000 because I already paid them some last month that reduced my loan. So now only on the remaining loan, I'm paying interest of almost 1% a month. So I'm taking this one and I'm multiplying it by the 1%, I'm getting 300 almost. So it means the principal continued to decline by 700. Now let's see who is the smartest student in the class. How much is the total of this row supposed to be? If I do equal sum, how much is that supposed to be equal to? It will be rounded, will be close to it. Anybody who wants to guess? Who wants to guess? Anybody? Esther, you want to guess? One of the two numbers, 6,000 or 30,000. What is the first one? It's the interest we're paying every month.
Yes, doctor. It's the
How
interest.
much is the total supposed to be? We know that number already, don't we? Because the
Yes, we
total
do.
ended up paying 36,000, don't we? And the loan was only
Yes,
30,
doctor.
so it has to be 6,000.
Yeah.
This was very close to 6,000. You see that? Just rounding numbers. And so how much supposed to be the second row? The second row is the payment of the loan, the actual payment of the loan. So if I go over there,
Which is
that should be 30,000. So if I copy this
yeah.
down, it will show me 30,000 or close to 30,000. You see, very close to 30,000. Is that right?
Yes.
And the total is supposed to be equal exactly to this row, 36. So here I can get 36 two ways. One is just copy the formula from here to here. It will add up 36 months. Or another way I can do equal of the interest plus the payment of the principal. That also should give me 36,000. Both ways will give me 36,000. I'll go over that one more time with you guys, okay?
Okay.
Go over that together. So on Tuesday, we'll go over that one more time. That's a very important part. So in a lease, we have kind of a loan. So I will go over that again on next Tuesday. But I think this schedule, it's very, very important. And what we'll do later on, we'll do it with Python, okay? And that will be really cool because you're already much more advanced than Excel. But that's really nice first time to see some Excel. Go over that one more time, and then we'll do it with Python, okay?
Okay, doctor.
Python will be easier to get that will be equal exactly to 0, okay? I will show you how you do it. There's many, by the way, this is machine learning, it's very important. Machine learning, you're finding really there's a lot of methods to get that number, okay? And this number really depends on the variable, the RY, I should call it RY. I call it T. That's the interest for yearly interest. We divide it by 12, and that's one we use for every month. Beautiful. Do you think I need to send you this Excel or you can build it up yourself? I think it's better you build it up yourself. What do you say? I think it will be a good exercise for you. Darling, you doing good?
Yes, doctor.
Is that clear? It's hard. Honestly, I saw a lot of students usually when I taught that at the university for many, many years, they always get confused the first time. So don't be intimidated if it's hard for you. Mildred, you there?
Yes, doctor.
Are you okay?
Yes, doctor.
And Megan,
Yes, doctor.
guess what? You are okay?
Confused.
Confused is good. That means you're in the process of understanding. That's life. That's really normal. So you guys got to get over that together. Okay, Ezio?
Okay, doctor.
Michael, go over that together, guys. This is one of the foundation of finance. One of the basic foundation of finance. Okay? I think that's enough for today. What do you say?
Yes.
All right. We did good. You guys did good.